It all started with the French invasion and occupation of Britain in 1066, and William the Conqueror's humble attempt at fire prevention. French was the language back then, and William demanded that all fires be extinguished at night to avoid catastrophe. His couvre-feu, or cover fire law, gave rise to the modern word of curfew. William's ruling and his determination to prevent fire lasted for many years to come. Regrettably, neither fire curfews nor the night patrolmen ringing their handbells at the outbreak of fire could prevent the Great Fire of London in 1666. This disaster, of course, did not mean the end of fire curfews. Bells to this day are still widely recognised as a signal of fire. Fast forward to the 21st century, and most modern fire alarm systems no longer use bells as the major form of signal. Nowadays, an incredible mixture of tones, beeps and sirens are used on fire alarm systems, all meant as fire alarm signals. Unfortunately, to add to this confusion, it is not only fire systems that use all of these types of signal. Burglar alarm systems, class change bells, security alerts, reversing alarms, warning sirens. It's just confusing. The public no longer know what these tones mean. False alarms are commonplace, particularly in security systems, and people now assume that any alarm they hear is false.
If only there was one single recognisable tone to signal fire. There used to be. The bell. Very easily installed and historically associated with fire, the bell has in recent years been hijacked by security systems, class change systems, and industrial signals.
Much the same can be said of electronic sounders, which are the most commonly used type of fire signalling equipment. The many different sounds made by these devices has made it difficult for the public to associate any particular sound with fire.
More and more is now being expected of fire alarm systems. Fire panels are becoming increasingly sophisticated, and the number of peripheral devices now being monitored by fire panels is bewildering.
Adherence to disability laws now means that fire panels are often monitoring disabled refuges and toilets. Bomb alerts and panic alarm buttons are often interfaced to the fire system, and class change systems are often installed alongside a fire alarm system.
With the increased versatility of fire systems, the challenge to the fire engineer is how to clearly and unambiguously relate to the occupants of a building the meaning of an alarm, bomb alert, system test, medical emergency, the list goes on. So what's the answer? No common tone, bells being ignored. A human voice is the only way.
Voice alarms are incredibly effective. They avoid confusion or ambiguity as to the required action to take in the case of emergency or fire.
In the interest of safety, please evacuate the building immediately.
The use of voice in evacuation systems is especially useful when phased or staged evacuation is required. It is also ideal for ensuring that building occupants may differentiate between evacuation alarms and tests, alerts, and any other signal that without voice messages would be very confusing.
The use of voice in fire and evacuation systems is not new. Public address and voice alarm systems using large amplifiers and loudspeakers to broadcast messages to people in an office is an effective and established evacuation method. But these systems can be expensive, difficult to extend, and require specialist installation techniques. Fire consultants and alarm system design engineers are often surprised to learn that voice-enhanced sounders like the Vimpex fire crier can broadcast several pre-recorded messages whilst maintaining the ease of installation of the more traditional electronic sounders.